Hi guys, I'm Abhinav. That's my friend Jaideep over there. I'm in Punjab, Patiala, at his Royal Enfield dealership, and he just doesn't sell Royal Enfield motorcycles over here. Jaideep is a mechanical engineer and he has been building motorcycles and cars for a very long time. He has a project going on over here that he is doing for my friend Rishi, who's a professional golfer and an avid motorcycle enthusiast, and I'm going to show you that project and Jaideep's going to talk us through it. Check this out guys. Do you see this? This is an Interceptor chassis. However, it has some bits on it that we will talk about just now. Now the owner of this motorcycle, the Interceptor, my friend Rishi, he always wanted to ride off-road. He wanted a scrambler style motorcycle. However, Royal Enfield does not really come up with an option. So he thought that he's going to upgrade to a Triumph Scrambler 1200. Now while he was doing that, Jaideep over here, he got a whiff about this motorcycle. Now this is a Triumph 1200, a Scrambler 1200 that caught fire, got ruined, and these guys, they bought this motorcycle and they decided they're going to swap out the suspension parts, the wheels, etc. from this motorcycle onto an Interceptor and convert it and make it a one-of-a-kind Scrambler. And now I'm gonna let Jaideep do the talking. Hello Jaideep.
Hi Abhinav.
First and foremost guys, we must thank Jaideep because without him, the Meteor series, it could not have happened. Thanks to Jaideep, he's the one who said, you know, just take my motorcycle, go make videos, keep it for as long as you want. So, thank you man.
You're welcome, you're always welcome. We'll be doing that with all upcoming models, I hope.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, with this one, what we've done is, this is a stock frame. It came off one of the accidental bikes we fixed last year.
Okay.
So, we've pulled out the front complete suspension. We want to use as many bits from the burnt out bike on Rishi's bike. So this is the mock-up chassis. We're doing all the fixing on the frame so that we don't have to keep Rishi's bike with us for too long. So once all the parts are prepared, it will be a bolt-on job for his bike.
Right.
So we've been working on this for around 3.5 weeks. He keeps updating on his YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
So we've been posting videos there as well. So as of now, we've come along quite a bit. The front suspension has been pulled out. Both the forks, they've been serviced. We've got a fresh set of seals. Luckily, they didn't catch much fire. This is just from the heat. You can see it kind of burnt out.
Yeah, so this will just be anodized, right?
Yeah.
And it'll look brand new.
Yes, yes. These are going to look brand new. We might make them golden as well.
Lovely.
So these will be anodized again. The main progress that we've made is we've managed to pull out this pin that holds the front fork onto that bike on the Scrambler. So this has been pulled out and we've come up with a custom pin that was fabricated for this bike itself. So it takes the Scrambler T and fixes it with the ball race bearing kit that sits in the Interceptor.
Right.
So we managed to mate the Interceptor frame to our Scrambler front end. We'll be using the handlebar risers, the speedometer cluster mounts and all from the Scrambler itself. So it gets a factory look. Even the headlamp is intact, so we'll be retaining that as well.
Alright guys, if I can just chime in a bit. The suspension travel on this motorcycle is quite a lot longer than what you'd get on the Interceptor. I believe the Interceptor would be about 170 mm or so.
I think it's 160 or 170.
160, 170.
200.
This is 200 millimeters.
Yeah.
The front rim on this motorcycle is 21 inch compared to the 18 that you get on the Interceptor. We'll get to all of this, but just to recap the suspension. The reason for using this suspension, look at this guys, it's adjustable.
Yeah,
this would be adjustable for rebound and compression.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, yes, this is a fully adjustable set. And same for the rear. I'll show you the rear, what we've managed to do so far. So we've shaved off 3 mm, if you can bring the camera this side.
By the way guys, this swing arm is also from the Triumph. It's not the Interceptor swing arm. This is a cast aluminium swing arm.
So what we've done is we've managed to shave off 3 mm from either side with a fresh set of bushes, and we've mated that with the frame using the stock axle. So there's no changes on the frame. It bolts on just like the stock swing arm does. And the suspension has been lined up. We've opened this bolt to show how beautifully it works. So it can work at any angle. So it will be tightened up and it is already aligned. And the rear has been worked on. We flipped the brake rotor, the caliper, sorry. The caliper has been flipped and rewelded to accommodate the rotor on the right side, because the Interceptor comes with the rotor on the left side, and the Scrambler has the rotor on the left side, and the Interceptor has the rotor on the
right side. Right, so guys, this again, you know, Jaideep has a very technical perspective on things. I have more of a layman's perspective in comparison. So this is a fully adjustable Ohlins suspension.
Yes.
It's adjustable for rebound, compression, even height.
Yeah.
So this again has 200 millimeters of travel, which is quite a lot more than the Interceptor. This would be slightly heavier than the
almost the same.
Almost the same. Wow. Wow. It looks really nice. Yeah. I must say that. And the fact that, you know, you've got it on the stock axle, yeah. It's going to retain its strength. It's not a jugaad, because this motorcycle is going to be off-road.
Any kind of jugaad, because we're not preparing this for street riding, and Rishi rides pretty hard.
Rishi rides hard. I've ridden with him. I failed to catch him. You know, he's just fast.
And this will be going off-road, and he'll be going fast doing trails and all.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of jugaad. We didn't want to do any kind of jugaad. So everything we've tried to make it bolt-on. And everything is reversible. All the stuff done on the bike will be reversible. He can go back to his actual GT whenever he feels like.
Wow.
So it's all bolt on. And these are Ohlins, and I guess the nicest set of rear twin dampers, because generally all the upper models, they work with a monoshock in the back.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have found the Scrambler, because otherwise we would have gotten into the rear monoshock conversion and all.
Yeah, and I don't know how good that would be, because you would have to create a bracket over here, because this doesn't really have any pipe over here that, you know, you could use as an anchorage point for the top link.
They have to be welded on. And that increases the number of, you know, the variables that might go wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is like a direct bolt on. This is the rear rim. It's a beautiful Acron, all aluminum.
So guys, this, again in layman's terms, this is a tubeless spoked rim.
Yes.
If you'd see the spokes, they come out and they are on the edge. They are over here. They do not, they're not in the middle of the rim, so you don't have to put a rim tape, you don't have to put any Outex kit. They are tubeless from the factory. You get a puncture, you can fix it up. Just like you would fix an alloy wheel up.
You can show a stock rim to compare with.
This is a stock rim of the Interceptor. It's made by XL. It's a brilliant rim, but it's not tubeless.
Yeah.
So if you take a look here, and you know, I had just before shooting this video, I picked up this rim, the stock rim, and then I picked up this rim, the the Scrambler 1200 rim, and this is much lighter than that rim. Even though that is aluminum, this is aluminium, but again, much lighter. Also, Jaideep, this is 170, isn't it?
This is 150.
Oh, it's 150.
It's 150. It's a 150/70/17 tire.
Okay.
So, and this is what we are planning on doing next. This is the rear sprocket from the Triumph.
Okay.
And this is from the Interceptor,
right,
or the Classic. They're all the same PCD.
Okay.
So we'll be using the Triumph's carrier to mount the sprocket. So as you can see, there's a slight difference in the PCD. The Interceptor has the holes sitting a little wider, so it's a bigger PCD size.
Right.
So we'll be doing a custom sprocket for Rishi. It'll be using these holes, these holes on the inside, and this pitch and this tooth count on the outside.
Right.
It'll be done on the water jet by a friend of mine.
Okay.
So that is next what we get done, but that is after we figure out the alignment of the chain.
Right.
With the rear sprocket and the carrier.
Right.
So this will be fitted on one of our Interceptors or a GT, and then we'll check for the alignment with the front sprocket. Once that is sorted, we'll figure out if the rear sprocket needs a step or something.
Okay.
And that's about it. We're pretty much near closing this build.
Wow.
So
wait, there's more though. So the front, it uses 300 mm discs, right? Dual discs?
320, I think.
Okay, so either guys, they are 300, 310 or 320.
Yeah.
If Jaideep says 320, I'm pretty sure these would be 320. And these use Brembo M40, no,
Yeah.
M50, right?
M50 or M40, I always get it wrong.
I think these use Brembo M50 calipers. Do we have those lying around somewhere?
I just serviced them last weekend. I think they're sitting outside.
Oh, all right. So you know this bike will have tremendous stopping power.
Yeah. So that goes on, and the calipers have been serviced. We'll be using a new master cylinder because the one that came with the bike is all burnt out.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting a new master cylinder for the bike and a set of braided pipelines.
Right.
Rest is almost on track. The front fender will go from will be used from the scrambler.
Okay, I think it's lying over here. Yeah, so
aluminum.
Yeah, beautiful.
So it's not painted. It will be cleaned out. I should cover that registration.
Lovely.
So it will be clean. It is as good as new. It will go on somewhere there.
Yeah.
It will be a neat looking build.
I'm sure.
Also, we have the front
axle sliders. So these will be going on the Interceptor, on the Scrambler as well. Lovely. And you were telling me that, you know, because this is all transplanted from that motorcycle, the headlight stays, etc. They'll all be from the Triumph.
I might be able to find them. Let me see if I can find them. Yeah. So these are the headlamp stays that came with the Scrambler. So these will go on, and the actual headlamp will go. So these all will be cleaned out. It'll be as good as new.
Right.
And so it'll look like a factory build. It won't look like a lot of parts from different bikes put together. So it'll be hard to tell what all has been swapped out. So it'll be a neat looking build, I guess.
So Jaideep, a lot of people would have this concern that this motorcycle is now going to sit a lot higher.
Yes.
You know, from the ground than it was earlier. Yes. Now, before this build happened, you had already converted this motorcycle, Rishi's motorcycle, you had fit a Himalayan front on it, and it was already taller and riding beautifully. You want to tell us something about that?
Yeah, so what we did was we retained the lower legs from his stock suspension, and we pulled out the inner rods. So I might have the inner rod sitting here. Yeah, it'll be easy for people to understand. So this bit was used from Rishi's bike, and these were used from the Himalayan.
Okay.
So we mated two suspensions to make one set.
Right.
Because we didn't want to play around with the hub fitting or any of the lower adjustments.
Right. So as close to stock fitting and bolts as possible.
Yeah, as close to stock as possible. So we fitted that. It went pretty high. And he did a couple of rides and he really liked it. I think that is from where the idea for this build came up.
Right.
Because he was really happy with the Scrambler setup.
I saw his YouTube channel. By the way, guys, Rishi runs a YouTube channel called Masked Moto. You must follow that because there are a couple of videos on this build on that channel, and I won't be doing any further videos on this build. It'll all be documented on Rishi's channel. You must go check it out. Every week, Rishi's planning to put out one video of whatever mods Jaideep makes on this motorcycle. So any progress, find it on Masked Moto.
We're still confused if we want the Scrambler exhausts.
Okay.
That is a smaller project we've saved for once the actual build is done.
Okay.
Because currently he's running slip-on AEWs.
Right.
We might try to fit these on. This is actually the stock set.
Yeah.
The headers, they sit pretty wide on the Scrambler.
Right.
So that will need some fabrication.
Okay.
So this we've saved for
later. The idea right now is to get the motorcycle running so that, you know, at least
he gets it on the road and he does a lot of troubleshooting. We won't even be painting or finishing any of these parts.
Right.
Those are going to be installed at a later stage. So, and another thing, we'll be using the pegs from this bike. This has lovely folding aluminum pegs.
Yeah, these are serrated pegs. You take the rubber piece out, the rubber insert out, and you know, your feet will just dig into them.
Yeah. So it's going to run these pegs, and can you close the door? So those pegs will go on, and another, maybe the levers, we're not still sure. If we retain these are folding. Same for the brake and for the gear as well. They're both folding levers.
Try and get you. Yeah. Similar to what I have on my Tiger 1200. This one.
So these are lovely folding levers that are designed to go off-road.
Right.
Take all kinds of falls. So let's see, we want to retain as many parts as possible.
Right, so Jaideep, by when can we expect this project to be in running condition?
I think it should be out for testing by Christmas.
Wow, so today is what, the 9th or the 10th of December?
Yes.
Maybe the 9th, so another 2 weeks.
Another 2 weeks, yes.
Wow, and Jaideep, what if somebody wants a build like this, they want to contact you?
They need to find a burnt scrambler first. So.
But you do a lot of custom builds, don't you?
Yes, we do a lot of custom builds. I enjoy fabricating stuff and designing stuff to meet the people's needs. So we've been doing a lot of projects, and we're going to try documenting them from now. There's quite a few projects going on as of now as well. We'll try getting them on tape as well.
In fact, guys, I'll just give you a quick sneak peek. Check this out. So the dealership where they sell Royal Enfields is downstairs. This is where he keeps his vintage motorcycles. All the vintage motorcycles that he, restores are over here. And then this is an area where Jaideep's motorcycles, all his projects are going on. He's got a Ninja 10R over here. He's got an RD 350. That's a 61 G2, right?
Yes, that's a 61
That's a 61 G2. That's Jaideep's Fat Boy getting ready over here.
And that's the Magna, the frame.
That's the Magna. The engine is in that room. We'll go back in there. I'll show you that engine. There's just loads and loads of motorcycles. Loads and loads of motorcycles. In fact, let me show you something very cool. This is a Yamaha XVS Cruiser. This is a 1900cc motorcycle and it rides like a devil. It sounds even better. Alright, so by the way, Jaideep, we'll just give them a quick preview. We won't talk about it. We'll just show them this. Guys, this is Jaideep's, one of his favorite motorcycles. This is his Royal Enfield Bullet 500. It's a cast iron engine.
This is a cast iron. You can't really call it a cast iron because the block is a Hitchcock's aluminum. So it's like a cast aluminum. You can't call it a cast iron anymore. So this was an Electra converted to a 500 into a 5-speed with a 32mm carb. There's a million of things we've done on this bike.
But we'll do a separate video on that. Again, this is about Rishi's motorcycle.
Yes.
Again, guys, if you want more information on Rishi's motorcycle, follow Rishi's channel. Check him out on Instagram. He's called Masked Moto. I'm going to leave details in the description. Go check it out. This is going to be probably the sickest Interceptor build in our country so far. Thank you so much for watching. Jaideep, thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Bye bye guys. Have a nice day.